Hello there everybody, this is GameOrNought and today we are checking out what's in the Box of Daybreak from the creator of Pandemic, Matt Leacock and Matteo Menapace. Apologies for murdering that name. I'm very excited about this one. This one I've been keeping an eye out for a while, so super excited to get it sent over. Before we open it up, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, follow, whatever it is that you have to do to keep in touch with GameOrNought. Let's dive into Daybreak. So I have punched out the components, but this is what you are going to get in the box. I'm going to start with the instruction manual, of course. It is a very nice instruction manual. It follows the aesthetic of Daybreak, which is this lovely sort of artistic, simple style. And it's a pretty good instruction manual. I think it's very easy to follow. It tells you the rules, tells you how to play it, and there's lots of examples in there as well, which I find super helpful. Now, one thing to note about Daybreak, which goes along with the theming of it, the idea of that environmental care theming, is that everything in here is as renewable as possible. So we're talking everything is cardboard, everything is a material that can be recycled or has been made from recycled components. That even included, by the way, the box wrapping, which was a recyclable sticker. Just worth bearing in mind. So you're going to have... So these are the player boards. These are what you're going to have in front of you as you play. There are actually 4 boards in here: Europe, US, China, and majority world. So each one has a slightly different starting point. They have different amounts of energy they need, and they have different emission levels. So they all have a slightly different starting point, unless you're playing in solo, in which case it doesn't actually matter which board you use. You always have the same starting point when you play solo mode. So on the top here, this is your explanation of what energy you need each turn. These are your energy outputs. So this will show whether it's clean or dirty energy. This is where you put your emissions, and these is where you're going to put tokens, which is your resilience, which helps you deal with the crisis that turn up in the game. And these are communities in crisis, essentially a sort of a countdown towards failure. If you have this many communities in crisis, you've lost because you've failed your communities. It is worth noting that each board also has on the back of it a lovely bit of artwork that's relevant to the game, and some information about that country or that nation or that state, and some information about their economy and their emissions. You also have 3 sets of cards, or 3 packs of cards. You have challenge cards. These are going to increase the difficulty of the game, which, if you've ever played a Matt Leacock Pandemic-esque game, it seems wild that you'd want to do that, but there you go, you have that option anyway. You have global project reference and crisis cards, so these help you to set up, and they also show you the crisis cards, which are the things that go wrong, and the global project cards, which are things you can do to make it easier to win the game. And you have your local project and starting cards. These are what you are going to be using each turn in order to try and impact the game state, and in the story of the game, impact the world in a better way. We'll have a look at those. So these are what the cards look like. Each card will have an ability or a skill that it does. For example, dirty electricity phase out. You can discard a card to get rid of a dirty energy per the pink symbol. I can't remember which one that represents exactly. Clean electricity plants. Discard a card to get 1 green energy per pylon that you have. And the way the game works is you stack these up on your table, and the symbols add up as they are stacked up. You can have 5 stacks on the go. So you're using your cards to essentially create almost like a little engine builder in order to get rid of emissions, get rid of dirty energy, and generate clean energy for your communities so that you don't run out. So then these are the reference cards. These help you set up the game. It tells you what energy you need, what dirty energy, what clean energy, what emissions and what resilience you start with. So for example, this is the solo game card, and it would be different if you're playing with other people. You're going to have slightly different things. So for example, their Europe there has some slightly different emissions and no communities in crisis to begin with. But that differs for each of the nation states. Then you have, very handy, a symbol reference card, which helps you to understand the various symbols and the things that are on there. Then you have these global project cards. Now the global project cards are the ways that you can, as a team, if you're playing with a team or if you're playing solo just on your own, ways that you can really help yourselves out by increasing the rewards or increasing the outcomes for your actions. Some even allow you to ignore certain crises that arise, which are very powerful global project cards. For example, here we've got solar technology at scale. If you take a local action on a card with a solar tag, you get 2 more energy. So essentially that's giving you 2 free clean energy each turn. Very powerful card. Same for the wind technology at scale. But that's for wind energy. And then we've got the crisis cards. So each turn you're going to be turning a number of these over, depending on how the game is going for you. And that's essentially the problems that you're going to face in the game. For example, this one, sea level rise, you're going to lose infrastructure. This one is going to mess with your energy supply. Then we've got some lovely carton boxes. I've punched a number of these out already, but this is what you're going to get. You've got some tokens here that represent the Earth warming up, and that essentially is building towards the fail state of the game. You've got to keep the Earth nice and cool. And you've got these lovely wooden tokens that represent carbon emissions in the game. So you want to have as few of those as possible. You'll notice a theme, a lot of these tokens are wooden or cardboard. You've got a bit of a mix in this one. We've got some lovely dice that you use to represent things that are impacting the world. So that's like your crisis, that's what's going wrong, for example. A wooden house token to represent energy demands. And quite a lot of just really very beautiful, very pretty, simple design, but absolutely wonderfully executed. You also get a lot of these energy tokens that show whether you're using clean or dirty energy. And you get a load of these emissions tokens as well, which show what is causing your dirty emissions, essentially. Whether that's vehicles, housing, farming, factories. And then you've got lots more tokens as well. You've got your community and crisis tokens. So these are the ones that represent, again, working towards that fail state when your communities are failing or you're failing your communities. And you've got resilience tokens. These represent how resilient your communities are and how much they can deal with without there being additional problems. And of course we have the board itself. Again, it's a very clean design, a very simple and sleek design. Doesn't really have anything that it doesn't need on there. It's got sections that show the negative impacts. It's got a temperature gauge to represent the Earth building up in temperature and working towards that fail state. It's got a rain counter, a place for your crisis cards, a place for your global project cards, a place for where you're going to put the emissions for that round, and you can place your seas and trees and other components where you want on the board. That's up to you. But it's a very nice board. It looks lovely on the table. and it's just quite a nice thing to look at. Ironically, considering the environmental impact theme of the game, you wouldn't expect it to be beautiful, but it is. And so there you have it. That is a quick run through of what's in the Box of Daybreak. Going to have a review going up soon, so keep an eye out for that. But until next time, goodbye.